in fishing, and what I found is really, like, once you guys have done this for 2 years, Alex sits in these meetings, he's heard everything I've had to say. Like, you're gonna hear the same thing, you know. Caleb, he's been here, he's heard me do these same trainings for 3 years. The material is all the same. Like, in the very beginning, it can seem very overwhelming to you, but it's really a pretty basic job, and it becomes a little monotonous after a while, but there's certain examples that can just help make a little bit more sense to you guys. So yeah, there's a couple things. If you're going out to catch fish, a good fisherman can catch different kinds of fish, right? Maybe Cam's good at catching bass, but if you're trying to get a bunch of fish in the boat, you gotta learn how to catch catfish, carp, crappie, whatever, right? Saltwater fish. So there's certain things. So that's one of the first things you have to ask yourself. Like, okay, makes a good fisherman? Well, first thing is, what are you fishing for, right? So if you're out there throwing bait, maybe the catfish likes bait, but there's no catfish in the lake, you're not going to catch them, right? So it's the same thing. You got to know what you're fishing for. You got to know, who your customer is, and so that's how you can get more and more sales on the board. When you first go out, you might be really good at selling old people or catching bass, but if you don't know how to sell to different kind of people, you're only going to catch a certain amount of fish. You're only going to make a certain amount of sales, and you can only sell that person. So in your mind, figure out, like, okay, Caleb, he knows how to sell Mexicans. Like, you put him in a Mexican hood, he's going to sell them all the time, right? But how do we get Caleb to 300 sales, 400 sales? Well, if he can sell every Mexican, we got to get him a little bit better at selling old people. Maybe a little bit better at selling a businessman, right? Maybe a crackhead, right? Freaking Cam's deal came fishing with him. This dude was paying $90 a month for his alarm, and he was coming like a complete shitbox fan, dude. Like, this thing was falling apart, but dang, he got to sell them. So you will sell people like that during the summer. You just have to have the right strategy. If I'm selling a crackhead, I'm gonna go really fast. I'm gonna qualify super fast, and because I know I'm gonna need volume. If I'm gonna hood of crackheads, I can't spend an hour with Zach just to see that he doesn't qualify, right? Yeah. So know your customer, know who you're talking to. If you don't think that they're gonna qualify, hey, how's it going, man? I'm Mike. What's your name? Matt? Do you own the home here, Matt? Yeah. Sweet. We're actually getting a free camera for you if you do qualify. What was your last name? Sweet. Boom. Right there. Now I see he's a 625. Gas way off, right? Now I'm going to slow play the sale because I know that he qualified. Too many of us waste their day trying to build rapport with some dude that's not going to pay the bill and doesn't have a credit score, right? So if you're with somebody like that, qualify on the porch, like quick. If their stuff's falling apart, look at, hey, you the homeowner here? Awesome. I don't care if, like, one, he doesn't care about giving me his information. Like, the dude's a crackhead. He doesn't have anything to lose, right? So I'm going to get his information fast. But a lot of the times, they're the ones that need it the most. They're getting their house robbed, getting it broken into all the time. Like, sometimes these people, they'll pay that $90 because that's the most important thing for them to have, is to have the alarm system in the house. So figure out what you're fishing for, and so be smart in the area. If you roll into your area and you just like throw your air pods and you get out of the van and you start knocking, you don't know your area, right? When you're driving in, figure out, okay, is there construction in this area? If there's construction, there's a bunch of construction workers. Typically that means there's more crime in an area. Are they close to the gas station? Are they close to the apartment complex right there? That goes into the next question that you ask, okay? What kind of lake is it? Like, what kind of area do you have? So when I'm going up to the doors and I'm driving through my area, I'm scouting out my talking points, right? You see that juicy little cove that has a little tree cover, like, oh yeah, I know I'm gonna go there, right? For me, if I see a bunch of like kids' bicycles out front, I know, it's actually kind of crazy now. I can drive through the hood and I can pretty much pick out the houses that I'm gonna sell. Like, because I've been doing it for long enough, you'll start to get that feel. Yeah, literally, yep, I'll go sell that one, bang, like, sure enough, it'll happen. So be smart and be clued in to your area and figure out like the houses that are good. Hey, maybe there's some cars home, maybe there's some signs of life here. Figure out the talking point, because if you guys are just going door to door, you're missing all that stuff that's going around you, because all of it is information that you can pick off. If you guys see wanderers walking down the street, sketchy people, bang, bring that up in your pitch. Because when you can bring that up, like, oh yeah, that's true. There are always wanderers coming in and out of my neighborhood. Yeah, so look for clues when you're talking. If you see an NRA sticker, what are they going to tell me?
I got guns.
You got guns, right? Another thing, right? So once you figured out what kind of lake it is and what kind of fish the person, what kind of fish, if they're an old person, if they're a Mexican, I can get that information pretty quick. This I can pretty much figure out on the doorstep by working my area and staying in my area. I know my neighborhood super well, and then I can figure out what kind of people are in my neighborhood. A lot of the times, your neighborhood's going to be a certain demographic. It's going to be black people. It's actually crazy. If you pull up a map, everything's like segregated. It's in New Orleans, in Kansas City, everywhere. There's Mexican hood, there's black hood, there's black. It's literally all split apart, dude. It's actually crazy if you look at it. No, it seriously is, right? You have old neighborhoods, you have younger neighborhoods. So I'm going to figure out pretty quick what kind of people are in my neighborhood. If I'm in a nicer neighborhood, people don't get home till 5, 6 o'clock. So I'm going to get a lot more one-leggers, because husband has to actually go work to be able to pay for their house, right? So I'm going to design my pitch a little bit differently depending on what neighborhood that I have, so I can use a different bait, right? Yesterday I wanted to throw a frog, and for whatever reason in my head, I was throwing the frog. I didn't get one fish the entire time. I probably threw that thing like 500 times during the day, but I didn't catch anything, right? Because I wasn't using the correct bait. So like if you guys are in a Vivid hood, how many of you had Vivid? Oh, Vivid just came through, right? You can't say the same thing that they said, right? They just heard that. It's like if you're going to the lake, you just hooked a fish and pulled him out of the water on the worm. That fish is smart. He's not going to bite on that same bait anymore. He already bit on it, right? He already got burned by that. So I'm going to make my pitch sound differently. So, hey, real quick, I'll actually come out here because Vivid, did you guys talk to them? They had like the orange sign. Did you talk to them out here, Keith? Yeah. That's the exact reason why we're out here. We don't want them getting all the business. We're selfish. We want to be the predominant provider for the neighborhood. Vivid's financing out all of their equipment. We're going to pay for your house just because I want the sign out here. Neighbors buy what neighbors have. So if you get Vivid, we know all your neighbors are going to get them. We're going to bribe you. Okay? I do need 3 things from you. I need you to keep the sign up, give me some referrals, and just don't brag about everything that you got, but we're going to go ahead and cover all your upfront costs today. I made it sound different than what the Vivid guy already told him, right? The reason that I'm here is because that Vivid guy was just here. And then what happens is, then I get Keith interested in that, and they said, well, what would it look like if I got 3 cameras? Bang, I can still go back into my financing deal, right? But I'm going to present it differently because I know that the customer hasn't heard that before. So yeah, figure out what certain people like. So like Lamont, you're good at selling old people. How do old people like to be presented? What bait do they normally like to bite on?
As far as like the equipment or?
Sure, or just like your presentation, like how you talk to them.
Oh, super slow. They love rapport. They love when you like compliment stuff about like the house or talk about the area. Old ladies be super sweet to them. Sometimes I'll take like their hand and like kind of like make a gesture to like kiss it and like and stuff.
Get down your knee next to them when you're talking to them.
Yeah. Yeah, be like a good grandson, and get to know each other.
Yeah. So what the purpose of this training is really, I want you guys to figure out, you're probably naturally, your personality type is going to suit up with some of these people a little bit better than others, and naturally, maybe you're going to have a harder time with other people, right? Come on, door.
Come on.
Yes, sir.
What's up? Boom. All right. So, guys, the more intentional and the more thoughtful you guys are, think about this stuff when you're in your area, when you're off the doors, because it's very easy to just roll into the meeting like half asleep, kind of get through a training, get out on the doors, knock, and then just turn your brain off. You have to be intentional about like, okay, who am I struggling with? right? And then get with somebody. Hey, Lamont, you're good at helping old people. How do you sell them? Hey, Mike, how do you sell like a business person, like someone that wants you off their porch super fast?
How you sell a sprint car driver?
I got you. I was doing a whole training on that. Because and that's a good example, right? Like if you can match your personality type up to the person that you're talking to, you'll get way more sales. Like if someone has a sprint car, dude, I think I'm 6 for 7. If they have a sprint car, I've talked to about 7 people that have a sprint car, and I sold 6 of them. Now, are they all just interested in alarm systems? No, like they're not any more interested than any other person, but because I connected with that person and had a rapport, they bought the product. So that convinces me more that everyone wants it, everyone needs it. It's just you got to learn how to personalize it to the person that you're talking to. So figure out what kind of stuff that you're good at, and then figure out what you need help at. Because that's great if you can sell every business person, but that's only 40 sales. Old people is another 80 sales, because old people are all during this, from 2 to 5, you're going to be talking to old people. So that's when you really need to focus on. Mexicans may be good for another 40, a young couple is good for another 50. That's how you sell 200 accounts. You're not going to sell 200 accounts only selling young couples. Right? So figure out what buckets you have that you're good at, and then start adding your queries to the other ones. Be intentional in your area. Stay in your area. Figure out the street names. Figure out what's going on, if there's car break-ins, if there's wanderers. And then figure out on the house, if they drive like a Subaru hatchback or something, what do I probably know about them? If they have a bunch of stickers like all the national parks,
They're liberals.
I'm probably not going to be talking about, hey, if someone breaks in, you're just going to shoot them, right?
Yeah.
That's not going to work for them, right?
They need security.
But if they have a big truck, I'm going to make my pitch different for that person.
How Biden is destroying America.
Yep.
We should buy a law system.
And then, so something that is important, the bigger fish are normally harder to catch, right? Yeah. There's a reason they're still in that lake, because they don't bite on everything, right? So that big finance deal, that's a $775 that's going to pay their bill for sure, is going to be harder to catch. They're smarter, right? So you're going to have to work your bait maybe a little bit slower. You're going to have to build more value with that person. You're going to have to take more time because they're not going to get their information. Now rookies, it's a good ego boost to go into the hook. Like, oh man, everyone's interested. I would have sold 7 today. Yeah, bro, they'd buy anything, dude. They have a 500 credit score. They don't know how to use their money. Like anyone can get them interested. They'll bite on anything, right? You ever seen those videos where like people throw a hook in with literally no bait on it? They literally just throw a hook on an official bite, and the guy, it's easy, right? So with them, I gotta qualify super fast, and I gotta sift through it because I don't want to pull out like little minnows. Those are no good to me. I can't keep those. So I have to fish a lot faster, door to door to door, quick. Hey, the homeowner. Work through those a lot faster. When you're in a nicer hood, you're gonna need to have a better presentation. You're gonna have to be more professional. Make sure that your hair looks good. Make sure that you're buttoned down. Like Kyle's Fit in the hood. He's selling like that all the time. It don't matter if he got stains on this, that, and the other. But if he's going and knocking on $1 million houses, he needs his collar up. He needs maybe like some Lamont pants, like those Fabletics ones.
Oh wait, is that Fabletics? Is there a discount code for that?
Yeah, use just like go Lamont.
Use 130.
Damn.
Yeah. So if you get somebody that's a little bit richer, they have a little bit nicer house, you're gonna have to take them more through the process. They're gonna be smarter. They're not gonna bite typically as easy. So yeah, that's what I want you guys to focus on today. How can you become a better fisherman? What things can you do, right? Can you be more intentional about getting better at who you're talking to? Can you customize your pitch better? Can you figure out, can you stay in your area better? Can you get better at street sheeting? That's going to help a lot. Can you change your pitch up to be able to customize it to the people that you're talking to? And then are you moving too slow or are you moving too fast? Because in a rich hood, if I don't go through the process and I'm not thorough and I don't answer their questions, they're going to give me an objection and I'll lose the sale. So yeah, those are some things to keep in mind. Does anyone have any questions about that?
Those are fire trips.
What fish?
When you're, I guess it changes depending on who the fisherman is, but
What are some how to fish, and what are some baits that you can use for the how to fish?
Yeah, so old people, for sure.
How to fish.
Yeah, because like I know I can sell a young couple, pretty easily. A lot of times, yeah. But yeah, during the beginning hours of the day, because when you guys get out there right now, a lot of people aren't going to be home, right? The old people that are retired, they're going to be home. So something that I like to do with older people is I'm going to use a softer tone. Imagine like you're talking to your grandma, right? Hey, how are you? You've been in the neighborhood for a long time. What was your name?
Rosie.
Rosie. Have you seen a lot of change out here, Miss Rosie? How long have you been in the neighborhood?
Oh, I've been here since 70 years.
70 years?
7 years since I was born.
Oh my goodness. Well, here, I think I have a picture of me talking to an old person. Let me see.
I always tell them you don't even look
Oh
old
wow,
enough to be
I
here
love
long.
your smell. Is that mothball? So nice.
Yeah, Miss Rosie, if it's okay with you, I'll show you real quick how this works for your house. And we can see if it's something that you can use. I think it'll give you a lot of peace of mind. Your neighbor's Miss Betty, she actually loved it. You mind if I take a look at the back door for you real quick? Okay. Softer sound.
And Nick. These are our technicians. You guys in charge of us.
First day out.
Birthday out.
Let's go.
Birthday out.
First day out with one.
Hey, nice engagement.
First day out with
Young Lamont, singing 3 songs, never looked back. $3,000.
Look at that. What do we got there? What is this for?
So
I said she has to go today. Is this indeed behavior though? What's up, bro?
Oh my goodness. Y'all are...
Hey, look at Rod.
Okay, perfect.
You know, Dan sent me that video when he hit my...
Look at me and Al 6 years ago today.
You graduated middle school.
Yeah.
Alright, I lied. I guess I don't have it. But,
Wait, show them the toes video. That's a great training. Yeah, kind of toes.
no, we got
That's how you sell
we got
it.
it's 140.
Wait, we got it.
That's the thing I can't get down with it. I gotta do it. Ryan, do the prayer real quick.
Let's go, Raj.
Rise.
Yeah, Raj.
Dear Father, Lord, I just thank you so much for this day. I just thank you for the beautiful weather. It's not too hot outside. I just thank you for this group of men that are going out here to pay the bills and do work, Lord. And I just pray that we'll have success today, and that whatever we do it with the honor and glory of you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Alright, has everyone got Pro Pilot?
You got it?
Speak now, Pro Pilot.